Hi everyone, and welcome to this short tutorial on how to use our Documents in Development tool. So this video is for members who are looking to give their feedback on our documents that are currently in consultation. So just to start off, this is the page where we first land when we come to the Documents in Development tool. You've got two tabs here. The one on the left-hand side is the Open Consultations tab, and this is where you'll find any current documents that we're looking for feedback from members on. And then the Closed Consultations tab will display previous documents that we have consulted on, but now they are not open for consultation. So these have two different states. They might be closed, where we haven't actually got feedback from authors yet that we can share, or they might be open, where we have authors' responses now available. So, for example, if we click through to this Tissue Pathways for Endocrine Pathology document, you'll see here that we've got authors' responses to these comments from members. So this is just holding text here from the digital team. Obviously our comments won't look like this when you're actually making them. So to flick back to the main page, I'm just going to show you how to add a comment to a live consultation. So we have this guidelines on autopsy practice document here that we're looking for feedback on. So I'm just going to click through to this. And on these landing pages, you've got a few different elements. So you have the title of the document at the top, a bit of a summary of the dates here, so when the consultation opened and when it will be closing. This link here takes you to download the draft version of the document, which you can then open on your PC, or you can print off so that you can reference it. And then there'll always be this little bit of information underneath it that explains who created the document and also just reiterates that deadline. So as a member, you have a couple of different options here. You can approve the document without comment. For members who are familiar with this, is how the process always works. You can kind of give your approval without providing comments. If you choose to do this, as I'm going to now, the page will refresh and you'll see this number is increased. And it will disable the ability for you to comment further on the document itself. So if you then decided actually you did want to comment, you'd need to click this undo button. And then the ability to add comments, draft comments, etc. is then made available to you. So on this guideline, we've had some comments so far submitted by Sam in our comms team. And as a commenter, you also have the ability to agree with colleagues. So for example, if we felt very strongly that this comment from Sam at the top was really on point, then we could just click I agree. And it will then say, again, tally the number of people who agree with that comment. And again, if you decide you've changed your mind, you can just click undo and that will remove that from there. But most of the time, most of the interaction you'll be having with these documents is providing your own comments. So I'm going to show you how to do that now. So to add a comment, we just click this big add comment button here. And you'll be asked to provide your comment in a specific structure. So that will be based on the structure of the existing document. So we have some documents which are by page and line. So our curriculums tend to be by page and line. Most of our guidelines tend to be section and subsection. So here you're asked to supply the numbers of the section. The section is always mandatory, and the subsection, which is optional. So it might be 7.1.2, in which case we would enter 7 here and 1.2 in this box, or it might just be section 7, in which case you can leave this free here. Underneath the reason for comment, you have a couple of different options here. Content really refers to sort of the general subject content and discussion of the document. References is specifically if you think there's an issue with references, and spelling and grammar is probably a pretty obvious one. So I'm going to pick content this time, and I'm just going to pop in some example text here just to show you how this works. So you'll notice as I'm typing, this number here is going down. So we've chosen to limit these comments to 400 words, just to make sure that when you're making a comment inside a consultation, it's specific to, again, that section and subsection. This just makes it much easier for the authors to manage the feedback on the various documents, especially if there's a large amount. But you do have quite a lot of space here, so I'm just going to put in a little bit extra copy there. So when it comes to submitting your comments, you have a couple of different options. First of all, you can choose to make your comment anonymous. This was something that our members asked for, that in some cases they wouldn't necessarily want their name to be known to other members. However, your name will always be visible to authors, and it does state that here just for clarification. So if I tick this, other members won't be able to see my name, but authors will still know who I am. Now, once you have you're happy with your comment here, you can either save it as a draft comment or you can publish it immediately. Now, once you've published a comment, it is no longer possible to edit it or delete it. It's there, it's indelible. So we would recommend that you save your comments and just kind of build up a bank of comments before you submit them. And there is an easy way to submit them all in one go. So I'm going to click Save Draft here. And this will take me through to what's called My Comments page, where on this tab, we have a list of the draft comments I've compiled so far. And if I flick over to the published comments section, this is where I would see any comments that I have published. Obviously, so far, I don't have any published comments. So from this page, I have a couple of options. Again, I can choose to add a comment. I can choose to publish everything that I'm seeing in this listing here. Or I have options with relation to the comments I've just drafted. So I could click here, I'm able to edit, publish or delete this specific comment. So for example, I've realized I've made a typo in this. I could just click edit and this will take me back to that familiar comment form where I'm just going to make a little change here and then save that again. And you'll see that actually, if I just expand this, my edit has been accepted. So just to give you an example of doing that again, I'm going to try adding another comment. Just going to pop this in at 7.8.1, one for references this time. Just watching that countdown go down at the bottom there as I type more. And I'm going to leave this with my own name on it. And again, I'm going to save the draft comment. So now we should have 2 comments showing on this page. So you have, once you've kind of compiled all of your feedback, you can choose to publish these individually by just clicking this individual publish button here, or you can choose to publish all of your comments, in which case you're going to get this alert every time you go to publish a comment, whether it's by one or as a large group of them. You'll be asked, are you sure you want to do this? Because this means that you can no longer edit these comments. So I'm going to choose to publish everything. There we go. And once I've done this, I get this little alert at the top of the page that tells me my comments have been published. And the screen flicks over to the published comments listing, so I can see here what I have already published. So in a nutshell, that's how to comment and to edit and manage your comments within the Documents in Development tool. When you want to come back from this page and visit the main consultation page and see what everybody else has been saying, you just click the link at the bottom of this page. So the My Comments page, which lists your draft and published comments, is always available in the right-hand menu. When you click this, you'll come back to the page we've just been on. And you can also click this link at the bottom to return to the main comments page. And here, that's where you should be able to see that my comments made under Karina's account have been placed into the list here. Now, importantly, you will be able to see your name all the time, but when you have flagged yourself as an anonymous member, it will note here that you've been flagged as anonymous. So you can trust that other members won't be seeing your name there, and you'll instead see a little anonymous flag. They won't see anything about you. By default, this listing is in order of the most recent comments published. However, you can order it by location, and you can also order it by type as well. So it's entirely possible to kind of manage the comments in that list if you so wish. Fantastic. So have fun with the tool. We really hope you find it an easy way of managing comments on consultations and kind of seeing a bit of a dialogue between members and authors. And importantly, do remember to publish your comments before the deadline, because if they have been drafted but you haven't published them, they will be lost. I'm just going to quickly show you how this works in action. So if I go to add a comment here and I pop in something like this. And then I click to save draft. We'll come back to this page again. Now, if I go back to the listing page, you'll see this big red alert at the top of the page, which tells me that my draft comment is going to be lost when the consultation closes. So in this instance, that's the 5th of April. So just be aware of that you want to make sure that you are publishing your comments before the deadline, just to make sure they reach the authors intact. Fantastic. So after you have commented and after then the consultation has been closed, you can flick over to the Closed Consultations tab, and when the author's responses are available, we will share this on social media, and you will be able to nip into these and see the dialogue that's been happening between other commenters and authors. So here we go. We can see that this comment from Diane has been rejected, and here's the response from the authors. We can see that this comment has been accepted by Sam, and there's a little bit of a response here from the authors. So yeah, you should be able to see more feedback coming from the authors at the college. Okay, folks, so have fun with the tool. We hope that you get lots of use out of it, and that it's really that really helps to sort of benefit the quality of our clinical guidelines and our other documents that we seek consultation on. And yeah, thank you so much to those people who've been involved with developing it with us as well.